Hey guys, welcome to Adeline Garage. Today we'll be showing you how to install the Energy Suspension front lower control arm bushing kit for the 11 through 14 Mustangs. For this install you will need various half-inch drive deep and shallow sockets, a half-inch ratchet, half-inch impact gun, 18mm ratcheting wrench, 3/8 inch deep well sockets, 3/8 ratchet, a bench grinder with wire wheel, a drill, wire wheel, 32mm hole saw, a hacksaw, torch, bench vise, shot press, and a punch or other sharp object to drain the fluid from the factory bushings. Once the control arms are removed from the vehicle, place the control arms in a vise and use a pick or other sharp object to puncture the bushing to allow the fluid to drain. Just be careful since the fluid is under pressure. Our Mustang's bushing were already torn, so the fluid had already drained out by itself. Once the fluid has been removed, use a torch to heat up the outer part of the sleeve to break the bond between the bushing and the sleeve. Once the bond is broken, you should be able to rotate the bushing back and forth. At this point, you can attempt to walk the bushing out by hand or use a press to remove it from the sleeve. We chose to use a press.
Oh, is it going?
Maybe. Yeah. This says
I was wondering what that was. Hey man, don't hate on the Harbor Freight.
I was gonna buy if I wasn't gonna do this here. if I wasn't gonna do this here, I would have bought one of those.
There it goes.
Aha! Success. That smells like shit.
Mmm. Fun. Now you gotta get all that rubber. God, that's terrible.
That smells so bad.
Now you gotta get it all off.
Once the sleeve is removed from the bushing, place the control arm back in the vise and use a hacksaw to remove the metal cage surrounding the bushing. Once the cage is removed, we found it easiest to leave the two rubber-coated plastic tabs intact, but cut away the surrounding rubber. By doing that, you can use the press to remove the entire bushing and avoid having to carve the bushing off the shaft. So if we all die, then everybody can see what happened to us. The only problem with that is we're going to have
it's just like a nice plastic shell with a rubber outside.
Once the bushing is removed, use a bench grinder with a wire wheel to take off the remaining rubber on the shaft. To remove the residue from inside of the sleeve, we used a drill with a wire wheel attachment. Okay, so we discovered that what is this?
1 1/4.
32mm hole saw fits.
Watch your foot, you don't get like burnt rubber on it.
When you finish drilling out the bushing, make sure you save the middle sleeve. You'll need it when you install the new bushings.
Okay. All that for that.
To clean off the remnants of the inner and outer sleeve, we used a wire wheel and a drill, along with a bench grinder with a wire wheel attachment. It's very important to clean off all of the leftover bushing material in the inner and the outer sleeves. Once everything is clean, coat the bushings with a generous amount of the supplied lubricant and begin to press in the new bushings. You can use the press or your body weight to accomplish this. Make sure to not forget to lubricate the inside of the bushing. Once lubricated, you can now press the bushing into the control arm. Once again, I use my body weight to push the bushing in. You might have to place the control arm in a vise and walk the bushing the rest of the way in by hand. Repeat the same lubrication process for the smaller bushings and use a vise to press the smaller bushings in. We found it easier to press the bushings into the outer sleeve first, then the inner sleeve into the bushing. Now you can install a control arm back into the car. Don't forget to lubricate the small spacer provided. When reinstalling the control arm bolts, turn the steering wheel all the way to full lock. This gives you enough space to reinstall the bolts. Also, you may need to rock the control arm back and forth to get the bolts in. Once the bolts are in, use an 18mm ratcheting wrench to tighten them. It's a tight squeeze, but it works. Now you can install the rear bolts. Like that. And yes, I know they're upside down. It's much easier because you can actually hit them with an impact from the bottom. So it's much easier to tighten. They were the other way when we took them off. So that's why we're putting them upside down. I really hope this video helped all you 11 through 14 Mustang owners out. I couldn't find anything else on YouTube on how to do it. So please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.